Hey, I need to tell you something. I need to tell you that I don't think this is working. You see, I've been seeing someone else. A few someone else's, actually. Don't be sad. You're great and things were wonderful for a while. But every great relationship comes to an end, right? What? You don't agree with me? Well, I'm sorry about that. I know you've been great for me, but now you're just dragging me down and keeping me from reaching my potential. It's time for me to go, but I'm taking all my things. Everything belongs to me anyway. Sure, you had a part in it, but you wouldn't be anything without me anyway, and everything we built together wouldn't be here without me. What's that? I said it would be forever? Well, that was always on the condition that I'd want it to stay that way. Well, now I don't. Listen, it's time for me to go. So this is goodbye. Until I need you again. Bleak, right? Wizards of the Coast has told its third-party creators via the OGL 1.1, the leaked version, I don't need you. I don't like saying all this. I really feel for those who have scraped a living, making D&D better for us all, but the sad fact is that WotC is clearly saying to creators that it doesn't need them. The D&D brand has transcended into mainstream and it's time to go pop. They want total control of their D&D tabletop and virtual game to ensure strategic coordination of their brand integrity and quality, resulting in the absence of any material that may be deemed as competition or even problematic, so as to develop a controlled tone of voice whilst making D&D a safe space for players of all ages. In other words, this is corporate hypergamy, and WotC is seeking new bedfellows. WotC is the proverbial bully in the playground, and it's attracting other multimedia big players because it can now strike the deals it always wanted to, at the expense of an increasingly small part of its legacy market. Because deep down, many of us know that many players will make the jump to 6e, and even more new players will be enticed by brand placement. I keep imagining the back-channel discussions when deciding all this. Screw those guys. They're just dragging us down. Let's get in the big leagues and keep the money moving between ourselves. We've got plenty of new fans to make. Why are we serving those old fans anyway? They just want to stick to their books and don't spend as much on stuff anyway. I know there are going to be lots of people out there thinking, but why did they have to go down this path? They made something great with 5e. We're a great gaming community. Well, yes, we are. But you have to appreciate there will have been investors, not gamers, but investors, constantly frustrated at the lack of forward momentum in terms of capitalizing on earnings potential. Oh, I know the game has done enormously well of late, but not as well as it might have done financially. Can you imagine how much revenue would have been made if 6e was installed before Eddie Munson and the Hellfire Club was a thing? Hence the under-monetized statement. Investors can see it, and WotC has not been agile enough to switch strategies. Until now, that is. Now it's game on, in a way that legacy RPG gamers will probably abhor. This new market that WotC/Hasbro is aiming for will be dependent on lucrative contracts with massive shows like Stranger Things and the D&D film franchise, resulting in coordinated launches of media, games and products. Might Wheeler's Thessal Hydra, anyone? Damn, even Eddie Munson's guitar might become a legendary item in future canon, and who wouldn't want to spend $1 to have that for their virtual mini, with the Master of Puppets solo playing every time you begin a turn? And how about a t-shirt with your character's portrait on it? No problem, another $30, and players will eat up clothing with the D&D brand. It's actually a massive gap in recent strategy, given the rise of geek clothing. You only have to see the success Joe Maniello has had with his Death Saves line to know there's a demand. I believe that WotC thinks having third-party content creators will, in the eyes of customers new to this industry, muddy the waters and blur the D&D brand. WotC don't want this and aim to coordinate their storefront. They want green seas of currency flowing in one direction only, and making the D&D product as unambiguous as possible to the multitude of new consumers that will pay to board the gravy train must be their aim. WotC appears to be valuing the impulsive purchases by transient fans over serving a community because it will be more profitable. And it will do this whilst telling you how they value the wonderful and expanding community they are building. You know, the one that spends 99 cents on the odd virtual sword here and there. I'm sorry to state this as a cold, bleak reality, but it really is as grim as it sounds. Even if there is a small climb down in the recent OGL language, this is the direction WotC is going, because it's too big not to. If it stalls this decision, investors will leave because WotC will be turning its back on ways to make money in favour of, what? The community? It sounds noble, but it's just not business. D&D is a victim of its own success and is now largely at the behest of big business, despite the flawed open display of surveying players for their opinions. But let's end this video with a positive spin. Despite all this doom and gloom, we still have great creators out there, and in my opinion I think it's urgent that they re-examine their strategies and be less dependent on WotC, given the door to D&D may be closing. What resources and capabilities do you have? How can you direct them? There could be opportunities here to form partnerships if there are converging strategies. What we all know is that there is still a strong tabletop community that wishes to be served fairly in exchange for a fair price. And in my opinion, with WotC vacating part of the field to occupy another, serving that community is the real opportunity that's emerging here for creators. And I think it'll be really interesting who capitalises on that best moving forward. It's certainly the area where I'm most likely to be directing my cash. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, or if I'm really lucky, buy me a coffee, link in the description. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I hope to see you back here, where I mostly discuss the BECMI edition of Dungeons & Dragons. I'm BECMI Berserker, and I hope to see you back here soon.